Thank you, Riley. Yes, sir. Okay, here we go, folks. Everybody has a copy of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections?
Just a comment, there's a lot of words there.
That's a lot of minutes.
A lot of words.
But I will make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Okay, Dan?
Michael,
Yes.
EJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. Okay, tonight we have scheduled reports, and the first one is from our zoning inspector, Frank Kitco.
Okay, gentlemen, you should all have a copy of activity for the month of October. We processed 15 applications. Again, the leading one is accessory buildings. We had 6 more this month, which brings that total to 22 for the year. We do see, I'm sure, the commercial development taking place at the corners down there is moving along. Between the brewery and the orthopedic place and the coffee shop, there's quite a bit of activity there. But everything is moving along pretty well down there. I just want to mention, I guess maybe even commend our zoning commission, with the help of myself and Jane and the prosecutor, of us adopting some control on Airbnb, so we don't have what happened in Bath Township happening, and everybody said, well, why do you want to control them? Well, the big thing is, again, people come from out of town, they don't have the numbers of fire and rescue, they don't, our police, and we don't have our own police force, so I want to commend them on that, because that was a pretty bad situation that happened. I mean, 6 people get shot and everything. And so, other than that, you know, like I said, we do have a case tomorrow at the Board of Appeals involving a swimming pool and a fence issue. So we're moving along. That's all I have, really.
Yeah, nothing to, just on that Bath Township thing, I saw an interview with, I think, the police chief yesterday morning, and apparently they've limited or banned Airbnbs there, and the police chief himself said the only thing we could have stopped this with was a zoning violation.
Yeah.
So that was an illegal operation as it was.
Right.
But you know, we've made it more difficult here, and
Yeah,
I
and
appreciate that.
I'm not totally against them, but just it's here again, there's zoning rules in place, and people still don't want to follow the rules, and want to build stuff and do things without following the rules and regulations that are in place in this township and every other township across the state of Ohio. And if you don't agree with something that's in the zoning code, change the code. But until you change the code, we gotta live with what we have, and our zoning commission, like you guys know, I've been doing this a long time, and I've always told people, it's a thankless job. You think you wrote the best zoning resolution possible, and then along comes some lawyers and you got people that figure out ways to change it, and zoning is always changing. It's just like the society's changing, and so, but we did address that, and incidentally, we did win our 2 cases. They came back from the Court of Appeals, and we won on both instances on that, so I'm thankful that the commission did that, and everything, so.
Well, first of all, it's running a commercial business in a residential area. Second of all, like you, I don't think the concept of an Airbnb is bad, but what's happening is they're turning into party places where people party from Friday night to Sunday night, because they don't want their house trashed, so they trash somebody else's, and unfortunately, all the neighbors around you have to suffer because of it.
Right.
And you're right, we've had 2 lawsuits and we've won both of them.
It
So-
seems like everyone wants to put it in an Airbnb, they want to put it in a development.
Oh, sure. You know, if this was Miami Beach or, you know, somewhere where people come to vacate, nobody's coming to Auburn Township to vacation.
Right.
In a sense. And let's keep it a secret so they don't. Any other questions for Frank on the board? Are there any residents that have a question for Frank? Okay, we'll move on. All right, next is our fire chief, oh, I'm sorry, Mike Fenstermaker, Auburn Highway Superintendent.
The Auburn Township Road Report for November. We're kind of winding up on resident requests, kind of switching gears this month. But we did do some ditching in Meadow Lane, some ditching on Creighton, and I did get a call for a deer down on Stafford we picked up. Did have a tree come down on Thorpe. Some trees on Lancaster we cleaned up over the route with the chipper. There's a tree on Bartholomew west of Thorpe we cleaned up, kind of right outside the right of way, but it was kind of blocking some some water flow, so we cleaned that up to make sure that the outlet on the cross pipe would flow properly. And I did get a sheriff's call on Stafford west of Munn. We had a tree come down, I believe that was Thursday evening, around 8 o'clock, or 7 o'clock. Cemeteries report 8 cemetery footers, getting ready for some stones to go on, and we had a full burial Saturday, October 11th. Like I said, we were slowing down the resident requests and gearing up for winter, so we've been out patching roads with asphalt. All the plants are still open.
They're still open now?
They're still open, and they keep telling us, they keep asking us how much longer we need asphalt, but it looks like another week or so when the plant's open. So we were on Roberts, Wing, Stafford, near Munn, Jennifer, Lindsay. We were down in Jennifer and Lindsay, the sign, the Jennifer sign was gone, so we did put a new sign up down there. I don't know where that went, but we replaced that. We were in Luckyville, Whisperwood, Shaw, Fox, Stafford west of Munn, Shadowwood, Thorpe, and started in the Meadows. And that's where we've gotten. Any nice days, we're out patching holes, getting ready for winter. Truck repairs, we did truck 18, part of the strobe lights weren't working on the back. We replaced the circuit board and replaced the rear strobe light, and we've got that working. And we started going through each truck. Usually this time of year, we put them up, check all the hoses, change the oil, grease them, get them all ready to go. We found some, 2 of the trucks had air tanks that were leaking pretty good. We replaced the tanks in truck 15. We're waiting on another tank for 16, and we're gonna replace those air tanks. And we did start putting some spinners and spreaders on trucks, so we've got 3 ready to go right now. We replaced stop ahead sign on Wing as you approach Stafford. There was some graffiti. We were gonna replace the stop sign at Roberts, but we were able to clean the graffiti off of that. Installed we had a resident request, a no outlet sign on Creekside, and I talked to the engineers about that, and they had some recommendations on that, so we went their recommendations. Instead of a diamond sign as you pull into the development, they recommended a smaller sign outside the development so that you don't pull in and see that it's no outlet. You can see it before you pull into that development, so we're trying that. And, we had a speed limit sign. I don't know who knocked it down on Alice Way, but we put that back up. We did finish up mowing for the season, so that's all done. We had to use the flail axe mower, the other one's still down the head. So that's that mower's gonna have to go in this year, have the clutch looked at, and probably the master cylinder, or the cylinder on the brakes. Salt, Morton received the ODOT contract for Jaga this year. Price is $48.04 a ton. Last year was $44.27, about a $3.77 increase from last year per ton. And what I did last year was you're allowed to order over your committed amount. I went 15% over since we had room. I figured it would go up, so we did that. We have some salt going from last year still. I committed for 2,100 tons, but we can go under and over between 10 and 15% of that. So
And the dome's full now.
it's probably got 1,000 in it, maybe. It's not fully full, but it's quite a bit in there. Get started anyways.
Okay. Our new truck, that's,
New truck is gone to engineering again to look at how are they gonna fit a plow frame under it, I guess, is the last I heard. But it's in between, as soon as the engineering looks at it again, it's gonna go to the upfit and start working on getting a new bed and hydraulics and plow and all that put on it.
They giving you a timeline on that?
they gotta be ready by winter?
It never was. It was always gonna
No.
come late winter.
Okay.
I was hoping
It was always
February, but we'll see. I don't know now.
Is there any other questions from the board?
I do. You guys did a sign check, or these were reports called in? Did you do a drive around sign check?
Well, we're always checking, and if we see any problems, sometimes in the development, if a sign goes down, like a speed limit sign, somebody usually lets me know, but we find them as we're out.
Are you documenting it? That's what he wants to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Mark's working on signs now. With this promotion, I kind of turned signs over to him, so he's been working on getting all that organized, and we're getting there on that.
I think insurance, Otarma was looking for some, form, I guess.
Yes.
So if you can whip up some form that covers that.
It'll be a lot easier here soon because we'll be running the plow routes, so we'll be checking signs all the time. All winter they get checked.
Otarma looks at everything from a lawsuit point of
Oh,
view.
right.
You know, somebody gets in a crash, there's no sign, and the lawyer's gonna say, he got in a crash because there was no sign.
Right.
Okay. Are there any questions for Mike from the audience? Anybody? Then we'll move on.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Okay, trustee and fiscal officers reports. Michael Troy.
One thing I was going over, I'm glad Frank's here, I was researching to see if there was any type of liquor laws regarding entrance gates into and out of patios that are attached to bars. I couldn't find anything on point. Do you know of anything, Frank?
I do not. I do not.
And
Wouldn't
wouldn't
ask me that very question.
Yeah, and since Coonley, the patio.
The patio.
Is the ones requesting the change to the judgment entry, shouldn't we leave that up to them to find that out for us?
Well, I was just, I
Yeah.
don't wanna tell them they can do something and then find out that we just told them they can do something illegal.
We had a pretty good conversation with them, and
Yeah.
I recounted it with Jane, but,
As I said, part of it is,
is that right away?
yeah, the gate,
Yeah,
when we originally had it written up, that was just gonna be an emergency exit.
right.
So if that remains true, then the only entrance they would be able to use is the front.
Mhm.
And since the right-of-way of Wing goes right up to the building, that means we'd be telling people they have to walk down the middle of Wing Road to get to the front door. That's kind of a health and safety issue.
Yeah.
Of course, the other side, they can walk through the septic system. I assume that probably wouldn't be very good either, so.
Right.
So anyway, I just wanted to research that because one of the comments that I'd heard is that there was something in the liquor code that was related to that. I couldn't find anything, so.
I couldn't either.
And I've been to a lot of different establishments, things through Solon and everything else. And there's quite a few of them that have an entrance coming in through the patio, so.
Right.
All right, I just want to see if you had,
I
okay, and.
There's nothing in the judgment entry pertaining to that.
No, there wasn't. We weren't aware of the location of the right-of-way at that point either, but I can tell you that Coonley came in with a pretty good attorney that some of you might have heard of, named Dave Andre. So,
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking they could find an attorney to unearth that regulation, or whether that's allowed or not, you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything either way, you know. And really, in all honesty, there probably should be more than one entrance and exit in case of an emergency anyway, you know. I don't know, Chief, what do you think, fire-wise?
That's correct.
Should be more than one, right?
Right.
Yeah, so.
Well, I said, we all kind of concurred, that we want to come up with something that's going to be best for
Right.
adjacent property owners, the best for them to operate their
Well,
business, and the health
you
and
know,
safety of the people who use the
The
facility.
big difference between the patio situation and related to Hoff's or the breweries or Auburn Inn, any of those down there, the big difference is, you gotta keep in mind, the patio is in a residentially zoned district. Those other establishments are all in a commercial district. So there's a little difference there, but at the same time, like I was telling Mr. McEwen, the patio existed before most of those houses were ever built.
It was here before we got here, so
And,
that's
you know,
before
the
1950.
one gentleman and I, you know, that was, he built his house knowing that the patio was across the street, and the comment made to the zoning department at the time was, well, that's cool, I can walk across the street and get a beer. You know, so, I mean, it's a catch-22 situation, you know?
I personally have the same situation, 422 goes behind my property. And I knew it was gonna be there, but I still called the state and told them I wanted them to move it. They refused.
It didn't work, did it?
But it was worth a shot.
But, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Frank. Another question that came up, or issue, can a trustee decline their salary? So what I found out on that, should any trustees want to work for free, according to the House Auditor State, a township official who wishes to waive or receive less than their full compensation must take the following steps. 1, provide written notification. Trustee must notify the Board of Township Trustees in writing of their decision to waive the salary. And then document it in the meeting minutes that they received that. So anybody who wants this job for free, that's how you do it. That's all I had.
Okay, moving on. Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yeah, I had very little beyond what Mike to. You guys probably noticed in the purchase orders a lot of, basically one for each truck and then so on and so on. That's what they've been
Chairs in the closet.
button them up. And he gave you the salt cost for the year, which is up about 8%. That's all I have.
Mr. Matsko.
Sir, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, since our last trustee meeting, I've processed 13 electronic payments totaling $36,541.42, and 23 warrants totaling $808,168.82 for a total of $844,710.24. The largest being the balance to Runyak paving, which was $771,181. I was able to close the books for October, and you have copies of the bank reconciliation as of October 31st. We have $1,153,644.81 in our primary Middlefield checking account, and in our Star Ohio balance account, we have $2,264,696.34 for a total of $3,418,341.15. That's all I have.
Old business. accepting letters of interest from residents wishing to serve a one-year term as an alternate on the zoning commission or the Board of Zoning Appeals. The deadline will be November 30th of this month. We're also accepting letters of interest from residents wishing to serve a 3-year term on the Kinston Community Education Board. So if anyone's interested in that, please send in your letters to the township and you shall be considered. New business. We have a change order. Reconstruction of various roads for 2025, additions, which equal $22,561. We have deductions of $34,693.20, and a contract for $1,098,295. The revised contract is $1,086,162.80. The recommendation of the Geauga County engineer is to pay Roniak Paving $771,181. And I believe we have, go ahead.
Well, that's good news. It came in under not only the original estimate, but also the bid amount. So that's $10,000 to the good here.
It's $10,000, we can build a pickleball court.
With road funds,
Find that money, Dan. Pickleball.
yeah, I'll make a motion to
I
pay
saw you were
that.
shooting for the pickleball vote.
Motion to pay Roniak that amount, $771,181 to finish that
Is there a second?
project.
Second?
Michael,
Yes.
TJ?
Yes.
Gene?
Yes. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have a resolution 2025-15, the relocation of funds. Want to talk about that, Dan?
Yes, sir. Okay, as you know, for our new truck, the year before last, we set up a capital project fund to pay for it, and part of that resolution, the original resolution, was to set aside $60,000 a year. So this resolution is for the reallocation of funds. Board of Trustees of Auburn Township at regular session on the 3rd day of November 2025. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Geauga County, Ohio, that the following permanent reallocation of funds are necessary per prior resolution 2023-35. That was the one that established the capital project fund for the purpose of the acquisition of a single axle dump truck with plow pursuant to and as allowed by Ohio Revised Code 5705.13C. Whereas it is the desire of the board to authorize an interfund transfer of $60,000 from Gasoline Tax Fund 2021 to be certified into the Miscellaneous Capital Projects Fund 4903. And I need a motion.
Now, before we make that motion, everybody understands the reason this happened is because for years, townships, not just us, borrowed money from their local bank to buy their equipment. And now all of a sudden, we can't. So all we're doing now is taking funds from our account to save, like we were making a payment for the truck. That's what we're doing. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Dan?
Michael?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Gene?
Yes. Okay, last on the agenda, we have a resolution 2015-16 authorizing fiscal officer to request tax advance for fiscal year 2026. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, the county gives us until January 30th to accept such funds. So be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Geauga County, that it must request its fiscal year 2026 tax advances, and that such advance is required to maintain township operations. Therefore, the board authorizes the fiscal officer to make a written request to the Geauga County Auditor for said tax advance pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 321.34. Whereas to the Auditor of Geauga County, Ohio, Auburn Township, Ohio, this third day of November 2025, you are hereby requested to issue your warrant upon the County Treasurer of Geauga County, Ohio, in favor of Daniel J. Matsko as fiscal officer of Auburn Township in said county for the maximum amounts available in the fire, road and bridge, debt retirement, and general funds on January 30th, 2026, February 18th, 2026, July 1st, 2026, and July 15th, 2026, of the collection of taxes assessed and collected for and on behalf of said Auburn Township, which shall be held and treated as an advance payment on the collection of taxes due said Auburn Township at the ensuing settlement 2026 as provided by law. Need a motion?
Motion to adopt that.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mike?
Yes.
EJ?
Yes.
Gene?
Yes. Well, folks, Jen, that finishes any new business or old business we have on the agenda. As always, before I close the meeting, is there any public comment? Anybody want to make a statement?
I do.
Anything before? Could state your name and,
Sure, my name is Susan Chapitis, and I'm an Auburn resident,
yes, ma'am.
and I live next to Patio Bar.
Yes.
And I am deeply concerned as a resident of the changes that have been happening. Things that have been allowed that have not been okayed by anyone here that I know of from these changes. There's been a lot. And to hear, how it went in the last meeting and what we're talking about now, I'm really hoping that we're gonna have a lot more discussion before anything changes.
Well, as you notice, we have not changed anything.
No,
yet.
I know. No, they've had changes on their own.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean, we all are aware of that, or at least the residents are who are close by. So, there is a lot to discuss.
There is, but as you heard Frank say, the patio was there way before all those houses.
I realize that, and we are zone residential, and so are they.
And yes, they are.
I
And
know.
that's the
I checked-
difference, as you
I-
heard Frank say,
Right.
between down there and over here.
I checked to see, is Auburn in residential? No, they're commercial. Same thing with
Commercial.
Hoffs, 8-Day, and.
They're all commercial.
And Bar. So, I get it, but there's gotta be a better resolution than just opening it up and having a nightclub there,
I understand.
okay?
And your concern was the loud music and the, right.
Yes.
And those were all gonna be addressed before anything happens.
Very good. I just wanna make sure that I got to say that, so you know.
Absolutely.
And there are a lot of other people that I've spoke with in our area, but they don't come here.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's either afraid to get involved.
Let me ask
or-
you a question, were you here when they were here?
No,
Now, I asked
did.
Nancy to call you and your neighbor, did you get a call to come here
no.
for that meeting?
No.
Because I asked her to call you and your neighbor to be here when Cooney was here.
Oh, yeah, no, there was no call.
Okay.
So no call, but I did watch the video, and I'm very grateful for that. And that's where I've been starting, making some notes and talking with some people, so we're very concerned.
Okay.
I just want to let you know that.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your comments.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, then we have some people to look over for jobs at the road department. We are gonna go into executive session
We're
for
looking
that.
for Benjamin or Brian.
Brian's
Benjamin's
here.
Is
Yeah.
Brian here? No, I do not believe to see up front.
He's not here yet.
So before we do that, we'll have to make a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
No, you want a motion to
Well,
go to
first-
executive session?
Before we adjourn the regular meeting? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Is there a motion going to executive session?
Yes.
So moved.
So moved. Is there a
Okay, I'll
second?
second it, and I just want to say that there will not be any further business.
Discussions after the
And
meeting.
just for clarification, the executive session is
Yeah,
to
thank
consider
you.
the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee pursuant to RC 121.22 G1.
And that has to go in the minutes. It does.
And then ask.
Do you have to take a...
That's it. Thank you for coming.
Oh,
What?
Mike,
Yes.
EJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. Vote tomorrow.
Early enough?
Thank you for coming. Good luck, Riley. Good luck tomorrow. Good luck, Mike. I know that's hard. It's hard to run, it's hard to put yourself out there, and good luck to everybody. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.